everyone, and welcome back to another tactic video. Today, though, is a little different as we're going to focus on a few little requests for everyone. Now, with the new year, I'm going to be moving my tactic videos to Tuesday and Sunday due to the fact that I'm currently in some network saves, and it would just make my schedule a lot easier. So we're going to be making that a little adjustment. But today's a special little one for you guys today, as we are going to be looking at set pieces, and we're also going to be having another little video coming out at a similar time, focusing pretty much they come out at the same time today, focusing on how to build a tactic properly in terms of individual instructions and other things like that and stuff I look for in making a tactic. So new year, a little bit about me, a little bit how I do my tactics, and some set piece stuff which you guys have talked about and are interested in doing. So today is the set piece video. Obviously this is the first one, they'll come out kind of same time, but you can watch them at either point. But yeah, that's kind of the thing that we're going to do, and we're going to get into today. So we have decided to use my Union Berlin beta save, which I scored a lot of set pieces on. Doki was a real threat, scoring 8 goals in 17 games before being plucked by the Middle East. And we're going to look at some of the routines I use, some of the ways I set up my set pieces, and just some things that I do to deal with it and the way I've adjusted over this game so far. So we'll get into things and get stuff started. We are here with my Union Berlin save. So this is a team in essence that has been just chosen for this. We can clear the substitutes as that really doesn't matter for this, but this is a team that we have out here. I don't know if it is the best team. We'll just have them pick best XI without restriction, which is pretty much that team. We'll then clear the subs. I don't know why these two are up top. We want Behrens for sure. And then Becker 100%. Actually, who scored more? Becker or Fofana? 13. We'll Fofana in there because he scored more. But are those two, which position? They're much more comfortable doing that. I think he's training me a box to box. What are you training to? All right, yeah, so sweet. So just trying to make sure they're in their comfortable roles for it. But this is the tactic that I was using for this, and this is one that I used when it came to getting set pieces and things like that. I didn't always play for set pieces, but we did at times, and it really led to things. So this is our tactic. Now, that's one thing that I do want you to know is that when I do look at set pieces, I care a lot about what tactic I'm using. So in my mind, I'm looking at things already, and I'm going, well, we play with a target man, so he's going to be a big proponent of these things. We don't have much width, so we need to find some guys that take throw-ins that can make an impact, be it this guy, or this guy, if we want to look to do long throw-ins. If we are in these areas, what players positionally are going to be in good spots that aren't going to pull them crazy out of position to deal with those things? What areas can we take up? When it comes to defending corners, what players are better to have high, what are better on the edge of the box? Things like that I start to think about just positionally to assist us when we do gain the ball back. Because what's going to happen is you don't want to set it up where Trimmel has taken the corner on this side, and then the ball, you don't have anyone covering out here, so if the ball swings out here and they attack, the AI might have Gosens, who's over here, run all the way back over this way, vacating all this space, and Trimmel sprinting across the pitch and can't get there in time. So just things to consider and think about when it comes to building the set piece that I would be very aware of doing, because they will make a big difference about making successful set pieces that work really well for you. So when we click on these set pieces themselves, we'll first start off, I think, with the defensive set pieces. So this year I found being the very defensively aggressive set pieces work quite well. Now, I personally despise zonal marking. I think it is the bane of the world's existence. I think it is useless because if you have come up against an exceptional set piece taker and the other team has runners, you can't defend it. There's no way to defend in zonal marking. Now, you get people use zonal marking because the average set piece taker is not perfect and can't always put it on a dime. But I think that it is, I don't like it that much. But I think this year a mixed system is the best way to go. Now, I do slightly different things to other people. I like men on the post. I like to just build up the box, and then go from there. So this is one of my defenses that I've used consistently for years now, and I've had really strong usage this year as well. So, I have two best aerial defenders zonally marking the area here and here. So the areas in front of the post. Mainly what I have them doing is they're covering off the near post and far post ones. You can also do them, they're also set up like this as well if you want. You can set them up like this to deal with those things as well. But I found they did best with near center and far center, because normally they'll move a little bit into those zones, and they kind of helped a lot more with the underhit and overhit balls. When they were in those areas, I felt they could sometimes get picked off, but they worked really, really well. Now, the rest of my players, straight up just player mark. Your two worst trackers, have them be the postmen. Nothing too crazy here. Normally, I'd expect them to be the fullbacks, which you kind of look... They're the fullbacks. They're your kind of worst trackers, and they're the guys that are sitting on those. Your best aerial defenders are usually going to be your center backs. So your strongest center backs are going to be just given the license to do that. Then you usually have some good markers, which tend to be midfielders, some center backs, as you can see here, midfielders and center backs mainly. And then your counter attackers are usually going to be your strikers, which is exactly what we want. Now, the one thing that I would maybe sometimes look to change is, like, Fofana's great for it. Barons, I don't think is great for it. I would possibly have Barons maybe be one of the aerial defenders because he's so good in the air, and then have someone like, say, Schaefer be the counterattacker on the edge of the box, because I think that will make a much better difference for that. But overall, this is kind of the structure that I look to do. I look to be overly defensive. Another situation which I would also suggest looking to do, if you do want to be a little more aggressive in terms of the way you play, would be to take someone here, have them be the near side of the corner taker. I would set this person to do the near post here, cover that area. Actually, sorry, you then have this person. Oh, we can't do one more on the edge of the area. That's fine. So they would mark the far post, and they will go like... There you go. You go like that. So you have a ton of markers. This guy's marking the near post area, so he covers anything on that near post. The rest of the people cover. You have two guys on the edge of the box. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, you can only have two on the edge of the box. But you have two guys on the edge of the box waiting, and all your runners, they're marking everyone. You win it, boom, get it down to these guys, and they can get it forward to this guy to attack. And if you want even, you could set this guy to go near post, and then set this guy as in the center as well, if you want to be crazy aggressive. But I really don't suggest it. I think the best way to do it is to go with just the normal union. This setup, I think, is the best one to do normally. I do have some slightly other ones, but I think this works the best in terms of covering the ball on the edge of the box. They don't usually get anything short very easily, and you can deal with stuff pretty well. The other thing that I would look at is, you can't do it there, but sometimes get someone to deal with coming short as well, which can help, because that doesn't let teams do short corners, which are really OP this year. So something to look forward looking at. Free kicks, I really don't do too much of these. I just have everyone player mark, and then I set up walls. I really wouldn't suggest doing too much on free kicks. They're not that deadly, in my opinion, this year, so I just set up the defense how you want. I just man mark with a high line, and then have one guy ready for the counter. And that's pretty much what I usually do. As you can see, Union are set up with a low block, but I normally would suggest like this. High line, in essence, some guys on the wall, someone ready to go, and someone on the edge of the box. Really what I'd look for. Nothing too insane, nothing too crazy for that sense. And deep highline, again, just making it harder for them, making it difficult to have to play into that space, which is always annoying to do. And then throw-ins, again, when it comes to defending them, this is one that I think I've found some issues for as well. But get guys on the edge of the box. Get as many as you can on the edge of the box, because I found that when they take long throws, they'll get the ball here, work to the edge of the box, and they score on you a lot. So have tons of people man marking, have one guy kind of marking this area here for a long throw, and then have guys on the edge of the box, and you'll be golden. I don't think I've conceded any more throw-ins after I made these adjustments. So it's been really, really good. But I would just look at making sure that you cover off the top so any short throws can't be worked to the top of the box. And I'd also try to be sure that you cover off the long throw with kind of a guy hanging in this area here, and then have everyone else man mark so that any flick-ons are covered very easily. And that's what I'd look to do. Have one guy high as well, because it's always good if they go back, you can apply a little pressure. But I think most set pieces in this game are best done by being overly defensive. They tend to be the most useful. So we do look at things here. We can kind of see how that success has worked. We'll look at attacking soon enough. I'm defending. We conceded none from direct free kicks. We conceded 4, unfortunately, from indirect free kicks, but that's far from the worst compared to the rest of the league. And then allowed from corners. We allowed 6 from corners, far, again, from the worst in the league. So not too bad. Obviously, Dortmund are just amazing at that, but it doesn't also help when you, like me, were first trying out this game and didn't get stuff right. I had to make a lot of adjustments later on to deal with these, but it definitely made a big difference later on when we were doing really well. I barely conceded towards the end. We did so well against it. But, yeah, those are the early season troubles, which led me to build what we have now. But to look at attacking, goals from corners. We had 11 goals off corners. We didn't score any from direct free kicks. I don't think we tried any. We had 4 goals off indirect free kicks as well. It doesn't say throw-ins, unfortunately, but we scored several off throw-ins on top of that. But we didn't really go too many for indirect free kicks. We were really going for the corner goals. That was our big one that we did really. They scored none off corners. That's crazy. But the corners were the big one, and that was one that took a little bit of working, but we eventually got it to go. So the way that I like to do throw-ins, free kicks, it's really, really basic. Shooting range is kind of, literally just, I struggle so much with these free kicks, but just have people go forwards and like have a few creative players sitting outside and then a few people stay back. I'd also have an extra player maybe lurk outside if need be, but just have some people outside for ricochets and rebounds. Try to have one player kind of separate and some others nearby, and you'll be good. In essence, all you got to do is just make some bodies able to crash the box when you're shooting, because that's all you want to do. You want to crash it when you can. In terms of the wide ones that are attacking, I preferred to go attack from the far post. Just kind of have a far post routine as well as a near post routine. So in essence, you want to overload the far post with bodies and overload the near post with bodies each time you do it. And the goal is just to have an overload in that area and then work it into that spot. I also had an in-swinger for both so that they're crashing into it. You could have an out-swinger for it, but I prefer an in-swinger because I think it's a little easier to meet the rotation of the ball for those players. And that's what I'd look for that. But generally, that's kind of what I looked for with these guys. In terms of the deep free kicks, I just went short. I felt that this was the most useful way to do it. Get it short, have bodies forward. You can then get it to someone short and play it into the group of players, and they can do stuff with it. And I think that's the best way to retain possession. I don't think I've seen a single team, AI or human, score from a deep free kick being swung in. So I think the best way to go is give it short and let your guys then create stuff. Throw-ins, middle third. I think I just have work the line on. In the attack, I just have work into the box. I don't have any long throws there. I do have a long throw routine, which is this one. Or not. What? There's one here. I have a long throw somewhere. I don't know where it's saved, but there is a long throw. Now, corners. This is, I think, what you all are really looking for and excited to see. These are the ones that scored us 11 goals off corners this season. So, this is my short corner that I love and adore. I scored a few goals on my network save the other day with it, and it is brilliant, in my opinion. So, you have one guy come short. First we'll start if you have 2 guys sit back. 2 guys back at all times. No one else back. That's it. So, on top of that, you have someone attacking the ball on the edge, which I really like. Or, you have them here, lurking outside the box on the far side. This is up to you. This guy is totally up to you. I've found better success doing this now, more recently with the latest update. but having 3 guys covering the edge of the box, right? They cover the whole edge of the box. You have 1 guy coming short to receive, and then you have 3 guys attacking the far post. What this does is that creates a whole gap in this area here. Or it sucks all the players to the back post, right? So then what happens is that if it sucks everyone to the back post, and you have this guy attacking from the edge, he will then end up in this area where there's a ability for knockdowns. Or it will go to the back post and someone will try to score. Or these guys will get it here and play it into this guy who's running in short to score. The whole goal of this one really is to get the ball here and then have one of two options. Go swing the ball into the back post or go another bit short here and then across for a shot. And that's what you're looking to create with the short corner. Is a shooting opportunity in this area by playing it across, or he receives it here and crosses into this back post area there. And that's the two things you're looking for with the short corner. I really like how it's worked. It's been fantastic. If you guys have watched any of my other saves, you know how useful it's been this year. Great. This is the far post corner. This is very similar to many of the ones I've used in the past, and I do think the one tweak I will show you guys has made a big difference. This one is all about creating deception. On it, you are designing a set piece that focuses on putting the ball to the spot of low amount of bodies. You get people to think you're going to the near post. So instead of this guy, I would suggest having him attack the near post. Or, you can attack. No, sorry. Yes, there we go. In essence, you want all your box threats on the near post. You want one guy marking the keeper for the back post one, because you want to make sure the keeper can't get up to get to the far post one. That's crucial. Then you have your guy swing it as a in-swinger to the back post, and your one lone best aerial threat is on the back post waiting to head it into this open spot of the box here. Also, it's swung to the back post, and if it's cleared out, one of these two guys can gather and recycle the possession back into the box. And plus, if it's under hit, one of the big groups of people on the front post get it, and you're covered as well. And that's kind of the way this one works, is getting into the back post, deception of the front post. He's got a 1v1, wins it, and he can score easily. Front post, slightly a different idea. I don't think now you need to have someone marking the keeper or someone attacking from the edge of the box as well. Because it just doesn't work the same as intended now. I don't think attack from the edge of the box really works. But, in essence, have all these people here. Let me just stick this guy on the edge. But you want one guy there, and you want the rest of them all at the back post, right? You don't need anyone marking the keeper. You can have someone there if you want, but I don't think you need it for the near post routine nowadays. I think you're covered totally without having to do it. I think the big thing is you have your 3 guys here. They are pulling all the defenders to the back post. You have your coverage here. This guy can cover this area in this spot here. You can also, which is not a bad idea, is if you want to have someone come short as well, because you're hitting it short, these guys can cover this area here. He's come short, he'll pull someone out, allowing even more room on that near post to score. And those are the things I'd look to do with that, is just pulling people away. Bodies outside, bodies at the back post, bodies over here. He's got a 1v1. The whole goal of these set pieces that I've created here, which has been really successful for me over the years in FM, is directing the opposition to where you want them to be so that you have an isolated player. I don't know much about basketball, but to me, one of the things I think about similar to this is the way they'll use picks to isolate players. So in essence, you use movement and drag people away so that you can get one guy isolated on the perimeter to hit the 3. And for me, that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm setting up decoys and moving people in other positions to create space for that one player, and he's the target. Now, it's kind of annoying because it can be stopped easily if someone knows you're going to do this, but the AI tends to struggle with it pretty heavily. You will need to adjust a few roles here and there, maybe have someone mark the keeper for a bit of the season and then not, because the AI does adjust to it. But making little tweaks, like moving someone from coming short to the edge of the box, moving someone from lurking far post to marking the keeper. Those little tweaks can adjust and keep you savvy and new enough for the AI so they can't get a hold on it. But I definitely do think that's the way to go this year, is create decoys with your players, have them in other spots where the AI is not, normally, which moves them into those areas with you. There's free space for your one guy to score and have a free header, and that's what I'd look for on most corners. And that's kind of what I'd say is the best thing for you guys. I've had the best success doing that. I think it's worked the most, and I really would suggest doing it. So that is that's definitely, it's definitely the way I'd go, and it's worked quite well. If we look at some earlier games, I don't know. In essence, if we see Doki scored, so like here's a game. We can look at both of Doki's goals. These are both going to be set pieces. So you can see here, the front post corner, there is actually some bodies in there. There's Doki, but we have the keeper being blocked. We have the player making the run from the edge of the box. Gets up high. He's the man. He's the only one there. He's going to get it, and he wins it. This is another one. This time back post. Keeper's got someone on there. There's all the guys on the front post. They're zonally set up, so they're doing their thing. And we have another guy running through the middle as well. But again, look. Back post. Guess what I said? Didn't I say? Zone sucks. But Doki runs. He rises. These guys are all stationary. Heads home. And that's the thing, is that getting it to that guy that is able to move, able to do those things. He's going to be another example of Doki getting a goal. Snagged a win in this one. Look at this. Jeez, look at some of the stats. I don't remember this one, but my God, we snagged the win in this. But again, we can see here, front post, Doki, he's in front of everyone. No one else is there to get to him. And that's kind of what I wanted to show you guys with those. I don't know if we scored any short corners. That's the thing of like, I don't remember. I haven't played this in ages, so I can't remember. But we can see another one here from Doki. Doki scored a lot of these. He had 8 goals off corners. Pretty unreal. You can see here, again, front post. There's someone with him that time, but he's still able to score. And that's the big thing, is just get it to the guy in a good area where he's got some separation and he can try to get a goal. And that's what you want to look for with the set pieces. So, just a few examples there, but that's kind of what you're looking for in terms of set pieces. Do let me know if that's helpful, and if you do want the set pieces, they are on Steam. I'll add the link below in the description so you guys can find that. Well, guys, I hope that was helpful. It's nothing too crazy to kind of talk through some of the tactics that set piece tactics that I use. I do tend to have the same ones over all my saves. I just make slight adjustments based off the players. In essence, there isn't really anything particular for them. The only keys I'd say for my set pieces are good set piece taker, and then just one good guy in the air. That's all you got to look for. It's just one good guy in the air. Because that's about, like, honestly, my corners just require one good dude in the air, and all the others just kind of recycle possession. There isn't much impressiveness to the set pieces I use, because as much as I want to do set pieces in this game, I find that they're very basic, and I don't find that you get the reward as much as you want with them. But again, that's kind of my feeling on it, and that's how things can go. But I would definitely suggest that for this year, work on those decoy ones that I suggested, come up with some ideas for those, and just sign one fucking brilliant aerial threat, and sign one really good corner taker, and you'll score a lot of goals with those two together. Really, really good combo. And sign Doki if you want to score corner goals. That man's unreal. Scores so many. Wait, you can probably get him for like 25 mil or something like that. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys did enjoy that. If you do want more in-depth stuff in terms of like how I would make set pieces exactly for a certain team or things, do let me know, or recreating some set pieces, which I don't think is really possible, but I've never tried it, so I'd be happy to give it a shot. But yeah, I hope you guys are excited for that. I think it's going to be really interesting and a lot of fun to do. So do let me know how your set pieces work out if you want to try these out. Again, links in the description below. And if you guys want to check out some other tactics, like a special one coming out this weekend for Luke Williams on his move from Notts County to Swansea. Now, it's not 100% confirmed as I record this video, not 100%, but, you know, I want to see how he does, and I really like what he's done at Notts. So if we can just show you guys a little bit of what it is, and we can talk about that, I think I'll be really excited to see how it works at Swansea as a precursor, as well as what it does at Notts County as well. So be sure to look forward to that one, as I think that's going to be a real exciting one. Now, if you do want other ones, we do have other tactics linked in the description and in the place at the end of this video, so I hope you guys don't run out of any of those. Now, I'll be sure to catch you guys in the next one where we have even more amazing tactics.